Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Scarlett Vickers suffered catastrophic blood loss after the blade was plunged 11 centimeters into her chest and pierced her heart. Her dad, Simon Vickers, 50, has been found guilty of murdering his teen daughter at their home in Darlington, Co-Durham, on July 5. The monster, who had been drinking wine and smoking cannabis, claimed he and Scarlett were just messing about when he accidentally threw the blade at her. But Teesside Crown Court heard the 11 centimeters wound was too deep to have been a tragic mistake. The heartless dad also attempted to claim that he was the victim after his daughter died in a pool of blood on the kitchen floor. After his arrest, Vickers told police, "That was it. We were horseplaying. I must be the unluckiest man in the world." Vickers claimed the playfight started when he and Scarlett began throwing grapes at each other while Mum Sarah Hall made dinner. He said he went to try and get her, but his daughter tried to push him away, so he grabbed the tongs and chucked them. The dad continued, "She just shouted, 'Ah, ah, ah,' and fell to the floor. Her lips were going bluer and she wasn't listening when I was shouting at her. Sarah took over and the ambulance came and ing hell." Vickers described his only child as the love of my life, and told police his world had gone to . He also denied telling paramedics at the scene that he picked up a knife and that it just went in after Scarlett lunged towards me. The dad added, "There is no way in the world I would stab my child. I threw those tongs at her. I want to die myself. My only child, I don't know what to say. I can't even cry. I don't even know what's wrong." The court heard the dad gave 3 different accounts at least before his formal police interview of what happened. Chilling footage also showed him being booked into the custody suite moaning about an upcoming holiday. He tells officers, "I just want to know how my daughter's doing. We were mucking about, playing in the kitchen, and for some reason this has gone really weird. We were mucking about. I can't believe this. Please someone tell me. What's going on? We are going on holiday to ing Gran Canaria in 6 weeks. ing hell. I don't believe this is happening. We were cooking tea. Just mucking about in the kitchen. I don't understand how this has happened. Honestly." Prosecutor Mark McCone KC said Vickers must have stabbed his daughter deliberately with the knife. He told jurors the injury inflicted to Scarlett could not have been caused by throwing the knife or indeed by throwing anything else. During her evidence, Scarlett's mum Sarah Hall said she believed it was an accident. She also told how she would not be standing by her partner of 27 years if she thought he had deliberately hurt their daughter. Vickers, who denied murder, has been remanded into custody to be sentenced at a later date. Detective Superintendent Craig Rudd, who led the investigation for Durham Constabulary, said Scarlett Vickers would have celebrated her 16th birthday this year. She had her whole life ahead of her. Yet it was cruelly cut short by her own father, a man who was meant to protect her. We may never know why or what caused Simon Vickers to do what he did that night. Sadly, today's verdict will not bring Scarlett back, but he will now face the consequences of his actions. I would like to thank my investigation team for their tireless efforts in getting justice for Scarlett and the community for their cooperation and understanding while we carried out our inquiries. Our thoughts remain with those who cared about Scarlett. The courtroom buzzed with quiet murmurs, the sound of lives unraveling. For a moment, the judge's gavel silenced the tension that gripped every corner of the room. In the defendant's chair sat Raymond Barrett, a man whose face was etched with years of unspoken burdens. His hands trembled as he clutched the edges of his chair, the weight of his own testimony pressing down like a millstone. Before him, the jury's eyes bore into his, some filled with disdain, others glazed with confusion, all asking the same question: how could a father do this? In the back row, Claire's mother, Mary, sat clutching a photograph of their daughter, Claire Barrett, a bright-eyed, ambitious 14-year-old girl with an infectious laugh. The photograph, once a source of joy, was now a painful reminder of a life extinguished far too soon. The room exhaled when the verdict was announced. Guilty of murder, the foreperson of the jury declared, their voice steady but heavy with finality. Raymond's head sank into his hands as whispers filled the room like the sound of distant rain. His defense, his claim that it was all just play fighting gone wrong, crumbled under the weight of forensic evidence, eyewitness accounts, and his own inability to explain the inexplicable. But the question remained, why? Raymond sat alone in his cell that night, replaying every moment of that fateful evening. It had started like any other, a quiet dinner, some idle conversation, the usual banter between a father and his teenage daughter. Claire had always been full of life, quick with a quip or a joke that could cut through his stern exterior. But that night, something was different. "I can take you," she had said, grinning as she raised her fists in mock combat. "Not a chance," he had replied, laughing as he assumed a boxing stance. It was their thing, a ritual born out of years of shared playfulness. Claire loved to test her strength, and Raymond, for all his flaws, loved indulging her. The fight began innocently enough, light jabs, laughter, the occasional exaggerated tumble. But then, something shifted. A stray comment from Claire, a joke about his temper, perhaps, or a jab at his failures, hit harder than any punch ever could. Raymond felt a spark of anger, small but insidious, ignite within him. He had grabbed the knife without thinking. It was supposed to be a joke, a dramatic flair to escalate their game. But the line between play and reality blurred in an instant. Claire's laughter turned to a gasp, her eyes wide with shock as the blade pierced her skin. "Claire!" he had screamed, dropping the knife as blood pooled around her. He cradled her in his arms, begging her to stay awake, to keep fighting. But it was too late.